You will be dissing you, dog. No way to soften that. Cause me, I was trying to find out where I lost him at, but maybe I ain't lose him at all. Maybe I keep moving forward and they're just stagnant, they ain't moving at all.
Playoff football has come to Northeast Ohio at Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Cleveland Browns. The third of 3 games to finish up this Sunday. We might save the best for last. And off we go here in the wild card round. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Warriors 70. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Sanders now to the air right away. Now he'll tuck this and run. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play 1.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Check man, 70 Timberwolf. Mustang 19, 19 Lion, 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Ready.
Now Sanders. And that will be incomplete.
The 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. 3rd down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
All right.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
On the quick, right?
Stroud sets up the play action. And that is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
18.
And Stroud now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
All right.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Stroud looking to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think there he had to come up with his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy. Unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Stroud. That's over the middle into the hands of Noel. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Here we go. 18.
Now it's Mixon running right. And tough sledding. They get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Here we go. Let's go.
Mixing up the middle. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now.
Here we go. 18. That's it.
Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Already.
Throwing now is Stroud. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Mixon will try the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Forward at the 20. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. The last time I look and repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 18.
From the gun to give to Mixon. Oh, what a move. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 69 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Stroud. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Second and 10.
All right. 18.
Stroud working out of the gun. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
18. That's it.
Here's Stroud. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. 53 yards. And the Browns have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Texans 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Here we go.
That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. 78 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right.
Stroud to throw it. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Well, when you're a road team in the playoffs, when you're a wild card, what's the one thing you need to be able to do to stay in football games? Run the football. And that's an excellent job right there of identifying where to go and picking up good yardage.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
All right.
Looking to throw. Stroud. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Now Joe Mixon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Texans! Nico Collins, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are an extra point away from evening this one up.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. Now they'll go with a reverse. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
At the 44-yard line.
Let's go. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Go.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Come on, come on. Hey, let go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal, 19 tight, 19 Dragon 60. Panther 11, Mustang 19. Ready.
Out of the gun here, Sanders. That's downfield. He's got Fannin. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Harold Fannin, 32 yards. And the Browns will take the lead here, the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
First down, Houston.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stroud. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 60 Mavericks, Cup 19, Cup 19. Buffalo 18.
Throwing, Sanders. Trying to lay one up deep. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
70 Lions. '70 Rangers. Panther 11, Panther 11. Dragon 6, 79 Broncos. Ready, right?
The final shot before break. Sanders. He's going to let it go again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. In the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. That's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
A handoff to Mixon. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stroud. Open man is Higgins. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this 3rd quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
The Browns drive about to get started. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
That's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Give him 30 yards there.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 34.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats.
Sanders. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Will Anderson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
At the 43-yard line.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Ready.
And now here's a carry heading left. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Sanders. And he fires one, but incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Stephanie! Count! Rig alert! Rig alert! Hey, Smash! 79 Broncos! Panther 11! Panther 11! 18 Rattler! 18 Rattler! Cub 19! Cub 19! Dragon 60! Ready,
They'll indeed go for it. It's Sanders. He's got him in. That's Bond. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give him a new set of downs.
Well, how about that? I'm a little bit incredulous there. 4th and very long, and they decide to go for it, and what a play to pick it up.
Man, what does that do to the defense now?
Somewhat demoralizing, I would say, but they don't have time to hang their heads.
Here's Sanders. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns had 6 to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. Here's Higgins out of the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Powers through. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. 108 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the wild card round. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 24-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
A gain of 19 yards. Here we go. First down, Texans.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Stroud is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. Watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Play action. Stroud now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Texans are going to be set up with a first and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Man, this is where his coaches.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And got his man complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 43 yards.
This has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
Check.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns continue to show